All right, guys, welcome back. 1776 or bust. So today we're going to be talking about this, or what's left of this. This is the Sig Sauer P-365 lower, but we're actually going to be talking about the whole gun. Now, there's a couple of things that I found about this gun that are good, some that are bad, and I'm kind of shifting my chair, so my apologies. But overall, I get it. I totally 100% understand why so many people really like this firearm. It is, for what it is a small gun, maximum capacity. Well, again, you do have the Hellcat out there right now. This kind of reshaped the market for single stack micro carries. Overall, it's a good gun. There's nothing really to say bad about it, but I do have some questions about it, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So I'll pose that question in a moment, and then you guys can let me know down in the comments below. But I want to give you my overview of what I felt after shooting the gun, not only with the aluminum Icarus precision lower, but also with the polymer lower. Now, overall, the day it didn't really start out that great. I was actually a little disheartened when I shot it with this polymer grip because, I don't spend a lot of time shooting micro compacts. Every gun I own is either I guess you could say a compact gun, like a Glock 19 size and up. So I don't really carry a micro compact, and I don't really shoot them a lot. So when I had the ability to get one of these, I chose to get it. I wanted to see what all the hype was about and see if it was really worth it. Now, interestingly enough, the first 100 rounds went through the polymer frame. So what I felt with the polymer frame was that, yes, it's a snappy gun. It is a small gun, but honestly, I don't think it's any snappier or any less controllable than, let's say, a Smith & Wesson Shield, or for that matter, a Glock 43X or any of the other comparative models out there. Now, I haven't shot all of them, but those are the guns that I've had some experience with, and I would tell you, this didn't handle any differently than those other two guns. My only thing that I would say that didn't really like about the gun overall was just the way it felt in the hand. I have not been able to adjust the ergonomics very well on this polymer grip, and I think it has something to do with the way the magazine fits, and I'll kind of just show you really quick. But when you put the magazine in there, you do get that little pinky extension, but this is very short, and it just feels a little weird in my hand, so to speak. So at some point, I plan on getting an XL modular grip for this, whether it's at the polymer, or I'm trying to get my hands on an Icarus Precision XL lower, just to see if that feels better in the hand in regards to the length of the grip. But that would be, for me, the one thing that I didn't necessarily like about this polymer grip, and just really the overall size of the gun. Now, the other thing I didn't like was when I was shooting the gun, I really could not get a good thumb position here. As you guys can see on the polymer grip, there is no texturing. There's nowhere to put your thumb where it's going to actually cause friction. It's very smooth. It's a very smooth polymer, so there really is no bite to it. And one of the things that I did notice was that as I did have my support thumb on there, the gun had a tendency to kind of slip a little bit. I really could not get a good bite on anything. And again, that's just something that I noticed with my experience with shooting it. Of course, I did switch around and shot 150 rounds through the aluminum lower to kind of get a good feel to see what that felt like. I did have to get some help to remove the mag release again because the first one I had broke. So I had some help there when I was there at the range to try to assist with that. Now, overall, what was the shooting experience with the 365 with a heavier lower? Obviously, it's improved. The groups got a little bit tighter. The controllability on the gun felt a little bit more controllable. Am I going to sit here and say that this shoots like a 45-pound firearm? No, it doesn't. It's still a tiny gun, but it does make a difference in regards to the substantial weight difference of an aluminum lower versus the polymer lower here. Again, one of the things that I did notice on this modular grip here is that you do have a little bit of texturing right there. It may not be able to pick it up on the camera, but you can see it right there. So you really do have something to put your thumb on. One of the things that I would say I'd like to see change on these aluminum lowers is just to get a little bit more texturing, a little bit more aggressiveness, and maybe not so much on the sides, but definitely on the back and on the front of where you're going to put a lot of your fingers on. Now, keep in mind the gun is safety checked. There's no ammunition in it. The trigger. The trigger on the 365, guys, this is a very good trigger. Again, I totally understand why so many people really like this gun. The take-up is very short. One thing that I did do, and again, I always disclose everything, there is a spring kit in here from M Carbo. It's 25 bucks. Popped it in there, super easy to do. And what does it really do? It may not significantly change the poundage. I think it went down about maybe a pound. So now this is pulling in about 5 pounds, which in my opinion is very, very acceptable for a carry gun. But it also smoothened up the take-up. Now, again, here's your take-up on the gun. This really doesn't change the length or anything. It's just a little bit smoother feeling when you get to that wall, and then you get a nice clean break. Again, you'll notice it doesn't go all the way to the back, so it's more of like a flat trigger pull, which I think is actually very helpful. There's your reset. So the reset is very, very manageable. It is tactile and it is audible if that matters to you guys. But the trigger is very good. The controls on the gun after shooting it, I had no issues with it not locking back, so I was not riding any of the mag release, or excuse me, the slide release at all, which was very good. I didn't have any problems with the magazines falling out by accident or anything. But again, my biggest thing about this gun is I do understand why so many people like it. It is super tiny. It is super thin. I mean, it's a baby gun almost. I do think there are some absolute positives with the Icarus Precision based on the weight, so it makes it a little bit more manageable in the recoil department. You also have an extended beaver tail here and another pad here for your thumb. It just makes a little bit more of a biting feel to your hand. Again, my only thing was I wish they would increase the texturing on the front and back, and maybe even here, just to make sure you get a really good bite on that grip. But that would be my only, I guess you could say, complaint, if it is even a complaint. Overall, the Sig 365, I get it. I understand it. It's super small, easy to carry, good magazine capacity, and it's not that bad of a gun to shoot. However, here's my question to all of you. If I was going to choose a carry gun, I'm still not sure I'd carry a gun this small. And it isn't because I'm afraid to carry a gun this small, or it isn't because I'm not a good enough shot with it. And maybe that is true, I don't know. But at the same time, one of the things that I did notice when I was shooting the gun was right out of the box, I did not have a very good amount of accuracy with it. Now, it's not the gun's fault. It's my fault because I don't train with these guns. I don't shoot these types of guns often. But it gets me wondering, for those of you out there who have a 365, how many rounds do you put through this gun to train effectively and efficiently with this handgun? Because my concern would be for people who buy this gun, because it's so small, because it's a little bit harder to control and be accurate with, how many of you are really putting the miles behind this gun to make sure that you're efficient as a shooter with it? So that's just a question I have for you. I mean, overall, I get why everybody likes it. I totally understand it. I'd love to see what the longer grip feels like, because I think for me, this grip might just be a little bit too small. But again, that's where I'm at with the gun. Overall, it's a good gun. Just not sure if it's for me necessarily, but we're going to see. I'm going to hopefully get that XL lower soon, and then I'm going to test it again. I'm going to shoot it again. And if there's a big improvement, I'm going to let you guys know. So leave those comments down below. Tell me what you think, and give me a thumbs up if you choose to, or a thumbs down if you choose not to like the video. But I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe. And as always, everyone, freedom is never free.